Because so I'm going to go ahead and repeat what I said for the recording. So today we're going to discuss a concept that I've never heard presented or sourced or integrated in the way I'm going to do now. Okay, so the concept that we're going to deal with right now, y'all, is corruption of the blood. Everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, very corruption of the blood. Okay.
Yes, it's corruption of the blood. In law, corruption. Oh, okay, all right. Well, I got to repeat everything. Can somebody go over what I just discussed with Lamech, please? Anybody willing to do that? Linda? Nikki? Isaiah? Someone?
All right.
You're going down the list.
Well, Dr. DrYasapa is going to introduce a concept to us this morning. And it's a concept that he believes that has never been looked at in that manner that he know of. And the title or the gist of it is the corruption of the blood. Now, often here in our class, we studied and understand the importance of the blood, that it is a bloodline. So, you know, I'm very interested. I cannot wait to hear what Dr. DrYasapa is going to present to us today. Especially one of my personal questions has always been, you know, with all the mixture and, you know, all this time that has passed, how do we actually know we actually still, we are the pure blood and there has not been any mix or corruption. So looking forward to it. I'll hand it back over to Dr. DrYasapa.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. So when we get into corruption of the blood, this is having to do with our contract and natural law, y'all. Okay. Do we need to go over what covenant means? Does everyone remember? Let's go through it.
I would vote for a review of it, a brief review of it, you know, as a refresher.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I hope we will see it in this electronic copy. So this is Strong's number 1285. Covenant. Okay, Brown Driver Briggs says pact, compact, covenant. Treaty, y'all see treaty? See treaty? Alliance. An alliance is a treaty. League. Let me continue. Going down the line. Constitution, y'all see that? Everybody see that? Someone say yes or no. Can someone say yes or no, please?
Yes, yes.
You see the highlight?
Yes.
Okay, Constitution. All right. So our contract is a constitution, right? It says ordinance, agreement, pledge, alliance of friendship. Linda, what's the name of the treaty? 1836 between the Moors and the United States of North America. What's the name of the treaty?
I don't remember. I think it has something about peace in there.
Yes, peace and friendship.
Okay.
Okay. Let's continue. Covenant as a divine constitution or ordinance, I'm looking at number 2, or ordinance with signs or pledges. The pledges would be what? Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 15, 1 through 14, right?
Okay.
Which would be the blessings.
That's right.
It'll also be the curses too, right?
Well, yeah, because you're definitely gonna get them. It says here, I'm looking for the cultural component of this, where the animal gets cut up. Y'all remember that? And its blood is spread. Okay, so look right here, the highlight, it says a divine constitution given to the house of Yasharallah with promises on condition of obedience and penalties for disobedience. All right, in the form of tablets of the in forms of tablet of the covenant. Go back and find it. All right. So I'm looking for the cultural component. Y'all see that, a constitutional agreement? Y'all see that? Constitutional agreement.
Yes. Mhm.
Look at this one. Look at this one. Constitutional agreement to obey the book of the covenant. That's the book of the law, right? Does someone have a physical copy of the expanded Strong's Concordance?
No, unfortunately, I do not have one here with me.
Okay. You see, that's the thing with these online Bibles. So let me do it this way. See if I can find it. Okay. All right. Y'all see the screen? Can we have a reader, please?
Religious studies. I do
Can we
not
have a reader, please?
Cutting covenants.
Right here. We can start right here.
Okay. A covenant is an agreement between at least two parties. The English word covenant comes from the Latin convenere, meaning to come together, agree. 3, such an agreement can be between parties of equal standing, like many voluntary contracts in Western society today, or between parties of widely different standing, like God and man, where one party dictates the terms of the agreement and the other accepts them. In the scriptures, the term covenant sometimes refers to agreements between people, but more often denotes an agreement between God and his children. Latter-day Saints can better understand the Lord's expectation of his people by studying his covenants were made anciently. We can benefit from knowing about ancient covenant making in at least 3 ways. 1, improved understanding of the scriptures. 2, increased appreciation of modern covenants. And 3, deepened personal commitment.
Okay, so we're interested in which aspect of this, Nikki?
Out
Well,
of the
let's
3, okay. Oops.
Okay, 3, okay. Anybody have anything else?
Oh, no, I was saying out of the 3, you wanted me to choose or you wanted to know? Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Your from your point of view.
At this point, improve understanding of the scriptures. What is it really saying? And what we can extrapolate from it to get what they're saying.
Yes. Now, y'all remember we're dealing with the contract, right? The contract that we have, the Constitution, the contract. Okay, let's continue with Hebrew wording. Jimmy,
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm here. It just, I don't have my glasses and it's very hard for me to see this.
Okay. Linda, are you able to read?
Yes. Okay, which part am I reading?
Hebrew wording.
Okay, let's see. In the Old Testament, the English phrase make a covenant is most often a translation of the Hebrew karat berit, which literally means cut a covenant. The verb karat means cut off, cut down, and the noun berit means covenant. Similar in meaning to the words pact, compact, treaty, alliance, and league. While other Hebrew verbs are sometimes used with Brit, such as quam, establish or confirm, and natan, give, karat occurs 90 times in the Hebrew Bible in reference to making covenants. In a few of these instances, only karat is found in the Hebrew text. The King James translators added covenant to the English text would make sense.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay.
Why does the Bible? Mhm.
Okay, why does the biblical Hebrew regularly speak of cutting covenants? Certainly, this idiomatic wording is used metaphorically in some cases, but more importantly, it seems to reflect ancient covenant-making practices. In our day, a contract often becomes legally binding when the parties sign a document detailing the terms of the agreement. In a similar way, ancient covenants often become binding by killing and cutting an animal. This may sound foreign to us in modern society, but the phrases cut a deal and strike a bargain appear to have come into English from the wording of ancient covenant-making practices involving animal slaughter.
Continue.
Okay, can I have somebody else jump in? They're about to approach my car right now.
Okay,
sorry.
okay. Isaiah, can you read, please?
No, I'm sorry, I'm driving.
Okay, Nikki,
Two
do you?
Old Testament examples give some detail about how a covenant was literally cut. The first involves the Most High in Abraham, about 1900 BC, and the second involves Zedekiah and the people of Judah, about 590 BC. In both of these accounts, we read that at least one animal was killed, cut into two pieces, and that someone or something passed between the dividing pieces. See Genesis 15, 7 through 21, Jeremiah 34, 8 through 22. Unfortunately for modern readers, these passages do not explain why the events occurred as they did or what they meant. Nevertheless, extra biblical sources offer information to help us better understand these scriptural accounts. Therefore, to provide a context for analyzing the biblical passages, we will first briefly review extra biblical covenant making practices that involve killing and cutting animals.
Okay.
I had a thought in that first paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Now I see the word karet, berit.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing that jumps out is karet. Now, isn't that what they refer to as diamonds? Because they spell it that same way.
Oh, yeah.
So you got
Mhm.
4 carats, 1 carat. So I'm thinking, are they saying is 1 cut, 2 cuts when you have 3 carats and 4 carats? Just a thought. I digress on that one. And then the second one at Berit, Brits, that sound like the British. They call them Brits. And so does that
Mhm.
mean they're the covenant people? Are they saying that's where that derived from?
Yeah, yeah, because
Okay.
yeah, we'll get, yes,
Yep.
we'll get into that.
Just
Okay,
another thought, but just okay. Now we can keep going.
okay.
Okay. Animal slaughter in extra biblical covenants. Over the last 150 years, many ancient extra biblical texts have been discovered that help students of the Bible better understand its historical context and content. From these sources, it is clear that covenant-making rituals were a common practice for hundreds of years among different cultures and societies who spoke many languages. To provide an overview of animal slaughter in these rites, selected examples will be grouped according to 2 time periods, the first and first millennia BC. These periods are approximately equivalent to the time from the birth of Abraham or Abram to King David's reign, and from King David's reign to the birth of Christ. Second millennial BC covenants. Two of the earliest extra-biblical texts describing the slaughter of an animal to make a covenant are from the 18th century BC, and a letter found in the ancient city of Mari in modern Syria. Ibal reported to King Zimri Lim, I went to Azlaka to kill an ass between the Hanu and Idamaras. I caused the foal of an ass to be slaughtered. I established peace between the Hanu and Idamaras. The expression kill an ass apparently means simply make a treaty, which was solemnized by the sacrifice of a young ass. In another context found in the ancient city of Alaka in modern Turkey, we read that Aban placed himself under oath to give Alaka to Larimlim, and had cut the neck of a sheep, saying, if I take back that which I gave thee. The implication is that Aban's life would be cut off if he took the city back from Ilarenlim. Okay. Anything else you would like for me to read? Or just keep going?
Okay, I can do it if you guys like.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Let's jump down here. I'm trying to see, in the Strongs, it's much more direct. Well, all of this. Echoes of cut. Okay, well, no, let's go back up here. Okay, the account, you guys see where I'm at?
Mhm.
Okay, the account of Zedekiah and his people is an example of a covenant cut under the law of Moses that is consistent with extra biblical covenants from the first millennium BC. An animal was slaughtered, cut in two, and the people passed between the divided pieces, that's the pieces of the animal, right, to ratify the covenant. The severe punishment pronounced makes it clear that those who entered the covenant had taken upon themselves look at that, y'all, a self-curse. Y'all hear that? So to go against, yes?
I'm not familiar with that word.
Let's read it again. The severe punishment pronounced makes it clear that those who entered the covenant had taken upon themselves a self-curse. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Nikki, can you read Deuteronomy 28:15, please?
Okay. Deuteronomy 28:15 says, curses for disobedience. 15. However, if you do not obey the Most High your power and do not carefully follow all his commands and decrees I'm giving you today, all these curses will come upon you and overtake you.
Is that an agreement to be cursed if they fail to perform the contract?
Sounds
Yeah,
like it to
It
me.
says it in the statement, yes.
Yes. So let's go back. All right. So here we are. It continues, the text does not tell us if this was only implied by passing between the divided calf or if it was associated with the verbal oath. Considering extra biblical covenant rituals from this period, it seems likely that the oath was verbalized as part of the ratification ceremony. Didn't Moses speak to the people, y'all? assuming
Yes.
this was the case, we can postulate how it might have happened. First, the person, we're here. First, the person taking the covenant oath most likely raised his hands as part of the, okay, so we don't need to, that's neither here or there. Nobody knows. Okay, this is reflected in biblical Hebrew because the raising of the hand accompanies the taking of an oath, and therefore to raise the hand means to take an oath. Second, the individual probably repeated a phrase similar to self-curses in which a person said, quote, capital God, so do to me, and more also, end quote, signifying that the individual expected to be cursed if they did not live up to their oath. This self-curse formula is attested from the 11th to the 8th centuries BC among Israelites. Eli, Saul, Jonathan, Abner, David, Solomon. And non-Israelites, Ruth, Jezebel, Ben-Hadad, and seems to be linked to covenant cutting oaths where the imagery of the divided animal was invoked as the consequence for violating the agreement. Y'all got that? So in other words, if you broke that oath, broke the covenant, just how that animal was cut up, you would be slaughtered and cut up. Thus, it is not unreasonable to think that Zedekiah and others of his people passed between the slaughtered calf, raised their hands, and said something like, quote, capital God, do so to us, and more so, and more also, if we keep not the terms of this covenant. You can keep that in mind for where we're going to go next, okay? Exodus, I think it's 24. Exodus 24, yeah. Nikki, is it still me and you reading or other people going to join in?
Well, you had me to 10:15, so you might as well use me.
Okay, thank you. Exodus chapter 24. We see the subheading, the covenant confirmed. Exodus chapter 24. Let's begin reading at verse 3, please.
Exodus 24:3 reads, when Moshe went and told the people of the Most High's words and laws, they responded with one voice. Everything the Most High has said, we will do.
So did they agree to a self-curse?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so we have a verbal contract, right? Okay, very good. Let's continue.
4. Moshe then wrote down everything the Most High had said. He got up early the next morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain and set up 12 stone pillars representing the 12 tribes of Yasharallah. Then he sent young Israelite men, and they offered burnt offerings and sacrificed young bulls as fellowship offerings to the Most High. Moshe took half of the blood and put it in the bowls, and the other half he splashed against the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it to the people. They responded, we will do everything the Most High has said. We will obey.
Verse 8.
8. Moshe then took the blood, sprinkled it upon the people, and said, this is the blood of the covenant that the Most High has made with you in accordance with all these words. 9. Moshe and Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and the 70 elders of Yasharallah went up and saw the Most High of Yasharallah. Under his feet was something like a pavement made of lapis lazuli, as bright blue as the sky. 11. But the Most High did not raise his hand against these leaders of the Yasharalites. They saw the Most High, they ate and drank. 12.
We can,
Mhm.
we can-
Stop.
well, you can read that if you like.
Oh, okay. Well, 12. The Most High said to Moshe, "Come up to me on the mountain and stay here. I will give you the tablets of stone with the law and the commandments I have written for their instruction."
Okay, all right. So y'all see what Moses did with the blood? First, he did what, Isaiah?
First, you sprinkle it on the altar.
Okay, very good. And what next, Nikki?
Moshe then took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, and said, "This is the
Continue.
blood of the covenant that the Most High has made with you in accordance with all these words."
The blood of the covenant.
Mhm.
What does that mean, y'all?
The blood of the contract? I don't know.
Yes. Yes. The life is in the blood, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let's get into it. Now remember
Right.
the issue. Yes,
That's like signing your name on the dotted line.
there you go. That's why living men signed their name in what? Red ink, blood.
That was an ancient practice, though. I mean, now today we don't even need that. Today it's
Yeah.
more like a black ink or blue ink.
Yeah, because they put you in dead status. Black, according to science, is dead or death, right?
Hmm.
Right? When things become more what's the word?
Lifeless.
No, more to mortified. I don't remember the word, but I'll remember it. Let me go back to this before I lose my thought. Okay. So we start here. Okay, y'all. Here we go. How do I get out of this? Dang on it. Okay, so it says, what does, Nikki, you want to read it? Can you guys hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. I just have something on the screen that's black, and I'm not sure if it's me or you. It says
Yeah, I
accept all.
can't move it.
Will they make you? They're gonna make you accept all the cookies?
I'm not going to accept it. I don't
Yep.
want to.
Customize setting and see if you can X out of it, or go to the top corners and see there's a little X where you can just get out of that, because that is strange.
Okay.
Let's see if they'll let you out. Okay, see if you can cancel or X out. I don't know.
Nope, they won't let.
They won't let you cancel or X out the top,
Nope, see that?
or at the top right, that little X. They don't let you just X out, or the black screen still.
Yeah, it's still there. Let's
What-
just
what-
read what we can look in that little window.
Okay. Okay. We'll read little by little. Okay. What does corruption of blood mean? Having read this question, it makes reference to treason, to which part of it states. Says 29, the Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood.
Ah,
We're gonna find out what that means.
attainder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is in the US Constitution.
Ah, got you.
Congress shall have the power to declare the punishment of treason. What is treason, y'all? Let's look it up. Do we commit treason or a capital crime if we break the commands or if we don't follow the Most High's instructions?
I would say so, in the sense of my understanding of treason. Yes, I would say so.
That's right. See that? Betrayal of alliance. Y'all got that? Towards one's own country. Remember, if we don't follow the Most High's instructions, we betray our own country, don't we? we've agreed to the curses. So we're betraying our own country and our own families, right? When we don't follow the Most High's instructions.
Hmm.
Do you guys see it?
Yes. It's treason not to.
Do you have a question or comment about it?
In 2 miles, take exit 147.
No one?
I do not at this point, at this moment.
Nikki, what, you have any thoughts?
Nope. I'm just taking it in with treason. Like, you know what it means, but then to read it again, it's like, oh, breach of faith.
Breach of faith, breach of trust, breach of confidence. See, betrayal of someone's trust or confidence. Okay. Let's take a look. Betrayal of allegiance towards one's own country, especially by committing hostile acts against it or aiding its enemies in committing such acts. We haven't gotten to this yet, but I want to look up this with felonies. Felony. In the United States, a felony is a crime that is punishable by death or more than 1 year in prison. So a felony is a very serious crime, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now look at this. Y'all see the highlight? Over here,
Yes.
No, I don't. Okay.
felony.
I don't see it all on my screen. I see just a little bit of it.
Okay, so felony. A felony is traditionally considered a crime of high seriousness, whereas a misdemeanor is regarded as less serious. The term felony originated from English common law to describe an offense that resulted in the confiscation of a convicted person's land and goods, to which additional punishments, including capital punishment, could be added. All right, y'all got that? Sounds
Yes.
familiar? Confiscation of your land?
Yep.
Confiscation of your goods? Sound familiar, y'all?
Yep.
And additional punishments could be added, such as death, right? Such as capital punishment. Okay, now keep that in mind, all right? So now every state constitution has a corruption of blood article in it. Okay.
Look for your destination.
Did we just look at this?
Turn right.
Okay, so in the
What
US
does-
Constitution,
What does corruption of blood mean again?
Proceed west on West.
Nikki, can you explain that, please?
159 feet. Look for your destination.
I'm not sure if we've actually really
Destination.
delved into what corruption of blood is. We just went through treason and felony right now.
Okay, so yeah, Isaiah, I'm gonna get into it, okay? Corruption of the blood. The Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person attained. Y'all see that? Now let's get into this. Annotations. The Confiscation Act of 1862 to suppress insurrection, to punish treason and rebellion, to seize and confiscate the property of rebels. Okay. Okay, Article 3, Section 3, Clause 2. Because of the constitutional doubts of the president, the act was accompanied by an explanatory joint resolution which stipulated that only a life estate terminating with death of the offender could be sold, and that at his death, notice y'all, his children could take the fee simple by descent as his heirs without deriving any title from the United States. In applying this act, passed pursuant to the war
You have
powers
7 hours and 2 minutes
and
of
not to
remaining
the
dwelling
power
time.
to punish treason. Now, let me go back and explain this, okay? It sounds complicated, but it's really not. Fee simple means that you don't own it. Y'all got it? Why is my cursor not working? Fee simple means it's not yours. Allodial means you have a allodial title. That means you own it free and clear. You don't owe anybody. Nobody can take it from you. Y'all got it?
Yeah,
There's no liens on it. It's yours. Notice what it says. Let me just get straight to the point. Let me go to my YouTube channel. Hold on. So we're gonna look up Attainder, all right? And I want y'all to put 2 and 2 together. Attainder.
Attainder.
Under English common law, the state of having lost one's legal and civil personhood. So what is this called? Remember this word, y'all? Civil leader mortuus.
That's dead status.
Dead status, black. The state of having lost one's legal and civil personhood as through losing the legal capacity to own or pass property. Now, who are the rightful heirs?
It would be the organics, right? The people that were here.
Yes, Genesis chapter 2. Moors, all the family of Moors.
So you
Okay,
said this legal and civil personhood, we lose that and become black, and then as through losing the legal capacity. So I guess that's why we're considered minors as like children, and someone
that's
has
it.
to own it. Oh, got it.
That's it. See, any type of document, bill, whatever, that puts you in a 14th Amendment citizen status, or that tries to get you to give Federal Reserve notes in exchange for anything, any product or service that's on your land, is a bill of attainder. It is an attainder. Why? Because you're the heir. You're the beneficiary. All of that stuff is there for your use and enjoyment. But they're trying to make you give them either gold and silver, which you can't do that anymore, right? Or Federal Reserve notes or something else to enjoy whatever it is that's on your land. Y'all got it?
Yeah,
Linda, do you understand?
Yes,
Okay, now let's continue. Now remember, we're talking about the contract that was sealed, the covenant was sealed with blood, right?
yeah,
The covenant was sealed with blood. Moses sprinkled blood on the people, right? And the altar.
yep,
Under English common law, the state of having lost one's legal and civil personhood as through losing the legal capacity to own or pass on property. Y'all know why you have certificates of title now? Do you guys see why you have certificates of title? You don't own
yeah,
it. It's a certificate that says that a title exists. but the state of and the US corporation, right? They actually
Yeah.
own it. Y'all got it?
They give you the privilege to use it.
Yes, and take it from you.
Yep.
Y'all got it? What does this say? Number 2, dishonor Black niggas, etc. 3, the act of attaining or the state of being attained. The legal consequence of judgment of death or outlawry pronounced in respect to treason or felony as a bill of attainder to remove an attainder. This is getting at the curses, right, y'all?
Yep.
Y'all see it?
Yep, I see it.
The curses are an attainder. The legal consequence of judgment of death or outlawry pronounced in respect to treason or what? Felony. Y'all remember what is the definition of felony? High crimes, serious crimes. Y'all see? Serious crimes.
So how did they find us at fault? So they saw us and saw that we were, quote unquote, committing felony, or they saw us disobeying. And so they put in their own terms of us committing treason and a
Here's
felony.
the answer right here. Can you read it, please?
Sure.
Deuteronomy
Deuteronomy 28
28:15.
and 15. However, if you do not obey the Most High your power and do not carefully follow all his commands and decrees I am giving you today, all these curses will come on you and overtake you. Okay.
So what's the answer in your opinion?
Well, of course, once we didn't follow all the commandments and decrees, it allowed our enemies to overtake us and plunder us.
So is this by definition attainder? Let's read it.
To dishonor us, to take our things, to take our status? I guess so. That's everything that encompasses that.
Yeah, as a consequence of serious crimes.
There's also a scripture where the Most High says that he will use a people that were not a people. And I think it says from the north country or something like that.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Let's continue. Attainder definition. What's that, Isaiah?
I was saying I think that he sent them here to attain us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, attainder, Merriam-Webster. Attainder. Nikki, you want to read it?
Attainder, noun, extinction of the civil rights and capacities of a person upon sentence of death or outlawry, usually after a conviction of treason.
Isn't that what happened to us?
Yeah.
Let's go here.
Attainder. Okay. Wikipedia. In English criminal law, an attainder or attentura was a metaphorical stain or corruption of blood.
There you go.
Yep.
Y'all see that?
Corruption of blood. Oh.
Y'all see that?
Yep.
Okay, continue.
Okay, I'll read it again. In English criminal law, attainder or attentura was the metaphorical stain or corruption of blood, which arose from being condemned for a serious capital crime, i.e. felony or treason. It entailed losing only one's life, property, and hereditary titles.
What are our titles? In the South, the Moors. We're not talking about a religious group. We're talking Genesis chapter 2, right?
Organic.
We're talking law.
Okay.
What are the titles? Anybody remember?
I think somebody said sovereign, I heard.
El Bay.
Excellent. Continue.
Ali or Al.
Yes, El, Bay,
remember.
Al, Ali, go ahead.
That's it. That's all I
And
remember.
Day,
And who? Day?
Day.
D-E-Y?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
yeah. So Al is for South, the South part of America. So we are Yasharala, we're the Als, A-L. Or you can say Allah. How about that?
Allah? Like what the
Yeah,
Muslims?
the
Like
Ah
what
and
the
the
Muslims
La.
use?
The Ah and the
Huh?
La. The Ah and the La. Yes. In English, Al, A-L.
Yeah.
But if we replace that, we get the pictograph Ah and La, Allah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Mhm. Gotta digest that one.
Yeah. It's blowing my mind.
So we lost these hereditary titles. Okay, and why is that important? It's because these titles are what connect you back to Genesis chapter 2. Connects you back to the land, identifies you as a rightful heir. Y'all hear me?
Mhm.
Yep.
Gives you the ability to, what's the word that I want? What do you do when you call on something? Like, for example, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836. Oh, invoke. Gives you
Yeah.
the ability to invoke the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, right? And to enforce it. Without that hyphen, all, il or L, however you want to pronounce it, De Be Ali, you are not able to be acknowledged as a rightful heir. Did y'all know that? Cannot be. Let's continue. It entailed losing not only one's life, we saw that in curses, right? Property, we saw that in curses, and hereditary titles, but typically also the right to pass them down to one's what? Heirs. You cannot inherit anything. What do we know this as, y'all? Capitis what?
You have 7 hours and 1 minute of remaining drive time.
Capitis
Uh,
diminutio what?
major.
Yes, excellent. What else? Media and minor. Y'all remember that? This is why they put this is why they put the corporate name in all capital letters. Y'all hear it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nikki?
Sorry, I thought I was saying yes. I was muted. But I'm going to
Okay,
listen to the
excellent. Linda,
video.
Jimmy, you got it?
Understood. We went over that. That's why it's all in caps.
Okay, so let's continue. Inheritance is the practice of receiving private property, titles, debts, entitlements, privileges, rights, and obligations upon the death of an individual. Y'all know when most of our people die, go to probate and you know, the lawyers getting, by the time you get it, you got nothing.
Right.
All right.
Message has arrived.
Okay, so let's continue. Attainder by confession. No, I don't want to go through that. Attainder by verdict resulted from a conviction by jury. Attainder by process. That's paperwork, ain't it?
Mhm.
That's like they send you a cell phone bill, gas bill, electricity bill. Okay, traffic stop, etc., 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 anything. Attainder by process, that's legal process, right? Resulted from a legislative act outlawing a fugitive. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
Yes.
The last form is obsolete in England and prohibited in the United States, and other forms have been abolished. Okay, so we just saw in the US Constitution, right? Where it says that, did I keep it there?
Asking for route.
Yeah, here it is. Okay, so corruption of the blood in the US Constitution. Let me find it again. Ah, here we go. Corruption of the blood and forfeiture. This all gonna make sense in a minute, y'all. Well, it's making sense now for y'all.
Yep. Like we forfeited because the corruption of blood, our treason and our felony allowed things to be taken from us. So we actually forfeited our right to all those privileges and heirship because of the corruption of blood.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Corruption of blood, clause 2, Congress shall have power to declare the punishment of treason, but what?
No attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of a person attainted.
That's right. That means that the guilty person can lose his stuff, but whatever he has should be passed down to his heirs. But no attainder of treason, not felony, of treason. Y'all see that? But no attainder of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person. In other words, if you do something that they're saying they can lock you up, right? In which case you won't have access to any of the things that belong to you. So in English criminal law, attainder was the metaphorical stain or corruption of blood. So if a stain, Isaiah, Linda. What's the relationship between stain and corruption of blood? Reading this.
Can you ask that question again before I leave?
Oh, stain, the relationship between a stain.
Oh.
Why, how, can you read that sentence and tell us what is meant, or what is this saying about a stain or corruption of blood?
I said in criminal law, an attainder or actinctura was the metaphorical stain or corruption of blood, which arose from being condemned for a serious capital crime, a felony or treason. So they're equating this stain or corruption of blood with the felony or treason.
Yes, so therefore a stain is corruption of blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, imagine you get something stained.
Well, they all talk about that in the New Testament that you can't have a spot or a wrinkle. So basically a stain or a wrinkle to make it into quote unquote the kingdom.
Right, that would be corruption of blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lifted that from here. So let me ask y'all. Moses sprinkled the blood on the covenant. Okay. What happens if that blood is stained? I'm curious what we will find. How can blood be stained?
Since it is a stain itself. Okay, I'm a shalom. I have to listen to this later because this is actually good.
Okay,
All right,
Nikki.
shalom,
How can
Nikki.
Shalom, Nikki. Yo, how can blood be stained?
I don't know. I would assume that the blood is the stain.
No, let's say it's fresh blood. Fresh blood. How can fresh blood be stained? Fresh blood. Are y'all there? Are y'all interested?
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, take a look at this. Fresh blood versus old blood. the answer. Oh, okay, well, fresh blood versus old blood, are there differences and do they matter? The answer to the question of whether there is a difference between fresh and old blood seems to be unequivocal yes. The storage lesion is a clear process by which red blood cells degrade over time. On the contrary, the question of does it matter remains unclear and is likely to remain for some time. So let's see if we can find a picture, okay? Fresh blood versus old blood. Why access to fresh blood? Okay. Fresh blood is beneficial when performing flow cytometry because the blood cells are more viable, which allows for the capture of more cellular events. Some cells like dendritic cells, etc., do not freeze well. So what is this saying to you, y'all? Fresh blood is what? Is it alive or dead?
It's alive.
It's alive. Old blood, is it alive or dead?
Dead.
So would you seal a contract with dead blood?
No.
Would it make more sense to seal it with live blood?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's say the contract has been sealed with blood. If there's a problem with that blood, now do you have a problem with the contract?
Well, yeah, I would say.
Why didn't they take an animal that was dead 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Or
it's a fresh animal.
1 day ago, huh?
The blood had to be fresh. If the blood is not fresh, then the agreement became invalid.
Makes sense, right? The life is in the blood.
Right.
Yes.
Are y'all following me? Y'all
Well,
sure?
no, yeah, I'm with you. I'm trying to put something together here.
Well, let me
There
ask
has to
y'all,
be
how do you
fresh blood.
think old blood smells?
Well, it smells.
It
Old blood
stinks.
stinks.
There you go.
I'm missing something.
Okay,
When I
go
hear
ahead.
old blood, I think of decomposition.
Are you talking to us, Jimmy?
Well, can you hear me?
That was Linda.
What was the question?
No, I was making a statement. I was saying that when I hear old blood, I think of the process of decomposition.
Say it again.
She said when she think of old blood, she thinks of the process of decomposition.
That's what it is. Yes, old blood is dead. So how you gonna seal a contract with something dead?
You can't.
Think about it. So let's say the blood was sealed, the blood sealed the covenant, and now you go break it. You corrupted the blood. Y'all got it?
Right.
The
Yeah.
blood is no good now.
Right.
Y'all see it?
Yeah.
Jimmy, you see it, Linda?
Yes,
Wow.
I see it.
You corrupted the blood. The blood of the covenant, not the blood in your body. See, most people are thinking that corruption of the blood has something to do with the blood in your body or your bloodline. And in some respect, it may. But what it appears to me is that the corruption of the blood is you've corrupted the blood to seal the contract. Therefore, you're going to get an attainder.
Right.
Anybody have any thoughts on that? Your opinion or anything?
I agree with that.
Oh, why?
Why? Because you went against your oath. You know, you went outside of the covenant, therefore you corrupted the blood of the covenant. You made it dead.
Yeah. Jimmy, what are your thoughts?
I'm still trying to gather my thought about it. And I understand that if the blood is old blood, it's a dead blood, therefore it cannot seal a covenant. I also understand the original covenant that was made with our people was with fresh blood. That's the example that's why it had to be with fresh blood. I just feel like I'm missing something.
Continue talking. Maybe you can.
So we know that the covenant made with our people is fresh blood. And that's why when they walked through it, they were bound to that covenant. That is why we are now, it has moved on because the covenant clearly in the contract, it stated it was generational. When we deal with, okay, because we are now living under the curse, it is still the same concept, and we're going through these contracts, signing them with dead blood. Hence why nowadays, in our time, we're signing in black ink, we're signing in blue ink, can further representing the dead, meaning there is no true value, there's no true value to this contract.
See, the blood has broken down. Linda, like you said, it's broken down. When it's old, it's broken down.
Decomposed.
Decomposed. It has no value. Y'all got it?
Right.
It has no value. So if you corrupt the blood of the covenant, y'all follow? Yes or no?
Yes, I follow.
Your behavior, our behavior, can corrupt that blood, take us out of the tangible, lavish lifestyle, and put us into attainder. So let me clarify more what this is. Give me 1 second. I have some other stuff I want to show y'all. Now, the reason why this is, I haven't gotten to the really good stuff. Have y'all heard of the word escheat?
Yes, I heard of it.
That's where we're going with it, man. Escheat. So Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 1. These are the terms of the covenant the Most High commanded to Moses to make with the house of Yasharallah in Moab, in addition to the covenant he made with them at Horeb. Okay, so let's get into the corruption of the blood. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. Whew, man, I'm tired. Okay.
Work today.
Man, I'm working 7 days a week and I moved today. Carefully follow, this is Deuteronomy 29:9. Carefully follow the terms of this covenant so that you may prosper in everything you do. That's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 through 3, right? All of you standing in the presence of the Most High, your leaders, etc., etc. Okay. 11, together with your children and your wives and the foreigners. 12 here, You are standing here in order to enter into a covenant with the Most High, your power, a covenant he is making with you this day and sealing it with an oath to confirm you this day as his people, that he may be your power as he promised you and as he swore to your forefathers. Verse 14, I am making this covenant with its oath, not only with you standing here with us today in the presence of the Most High, our power, but also with those who are not here today. Let me go back to Exodus. Where's our Exodus verse, y'all? Oh, here we go. Exodus 24:8. Moses then took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, and said, this is the blood of the covenant that the Most High has made with you in accordance with all these words. All right. So in this case, I hope it's very clear that we're talking about blood and covenant contract. All right. So now let's take a look at this. Now, I found this. Let's see if it has any value. Corruption of the blood. Anybody want to do the reading? All right, hold on.
Okay, let's see, where are we?
Wait,
Which part?
wait, hold on. Let me pull up my Black's Law Dictionary. Let me close this one out. Attainder, let's go back to Attainder. I can look it up on the internet, hold on. I want y'all to see what's happening. Escheat. Isaiah, you want to go into what this means?
I'm driving, Doc. I can't.
Okay. Escheat, definition and meaning. Black's Law Dictionary. In feudal law. This was happening in England, right? This is a form of slavery, serfdom, right?
Yep.
Escheat is an obstruction of the course of descent and consequent determination of the tenure by some unforeseen contingency in which the land, y'all got that? Naturally results back by a kind of what? Reversion. So the land goes back by reversion to the original grantor. Whose land is it? Who's the rightful heir?
Moors.
Who's the rightful heir?
The Moors.
We are.
Genesis chapter 2.
Right.
Moors. Let's read it again. Escheat is an obstruction of the course of descent. What does that mean? What's the course of descent?
Passing down.
Can a hybrid own land, y'all? Wait, can a hybrid own land?
No.
No, they cannot.
Hybrid cannot own land. Can a Moor own land?
Yes.
Yes.
How does he get it?
Through heritage.
It is inherited. It passes from one generation to another. Escheat is the obstruction of the course of descent. What is this? So Jimmy, what does that mean?
Well, it's cheat is getting cheat out of what is rightfully yours.
They're getting cheated out. Who's getting it? Is a rightful heir getting it?
No,
So who's getting it?
the opposition.
Okay, don't say opposition.
The hybrid.
The hybrid.
The hybrids are getting it. They're escheating our estate. Escheat is the obstruction of the course of descent and consequent termination of the tenure by some unforeseen contingency, like what? They trick you with the mortgage and you give them your estate because we don't know how to read. We don't know the meaning of words and grammar rules. Y'all got it? They use language where you actually give them your house. Did y'all know that? You get the house as an inheritance. Did y'all know that? But they have in the contract that you give it to them as a gift. Did y'all know that?
Didn't know that.
Are y'all there? Yes. One day I'll show y'all. Let's continue. What's another
Is that
form
even if
of-
you,
Hmm?
is that even if you get the allodial title?
No, that's not if you have the allodial title.
No. Okay.
That's fee simple. That's all, everything you see happening today. In that
What is the-
contract, they use a French word.
What is the rodeo title?
It's just that you own it free and clear. There's no lien on it. Nobody can take it.
Gotcha.
It's yours. Paid for with silver and gold. Okay, so now listen to this, y'all. The way that they were doing, the way that they are escheating us is getting you to agree to hire a lawyer. A lawyer is an attorney, but we'll get into that. He attorns you. He gets you to hand over your estate. In feudal law, escheat is an obstruction of the course of descent and consequent determination of the tenure by some unforeseen contingency, in which case the land naturally resorts back. So in other words, you can do a reversion of estate and get your stuff back. Once you find out about this, y'all hear me? Once you find out about the hypothecation and the escheat, you can do the paperwork, but you got to be competent to do a reversion of estate. Okay, and once you do a reversion of estate, you get your stuff back. It goes back or reverts back to the original owner. Who's the original owner? The rightful heir, Genesis chapter 2. Y'all got it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, escheat is
Yeah.
the casual descent. Escheat is the casual descent in the nature of forfeiture of lands and tenements within his manor to a lord. What kind of lord? A landlord. Y'all got that?
Yes. Right, correct.
Or
But yeah,
other
that
kind of
has a
lord,
thing,
right? Either on failure of issue of the tenant, dying, seized, or on account of the felony of such tenant. So in other words, they get you to become a tenant. They trick you out of your land. This is what they did to our ancestors, right? Or they use banks or threats, okay? And then you agree to become a tenant. Y'all follow me? In Black's Law Dictionary, I'm gonna, man, I need my black, maybe I'll pull it up and I can read this to y'all, okay? Also the land or fee itself, which thus fell back to the Lord because you gave it up. They tricked you out of it. You agreed to be a tenant where you are a rightful heir. Y'all got that? Such
Yeah.
lands were called, and then Okay, so in American law, escheat, hold on. Escheat signifies a reversion of property to the state in consequence of a want of any individual, what? Competent to inherit. Do y'all see that? In American law, escheat signifies a reversion of the, in other words, the state takes your property. Why? Because there's no one competent to inherit. Y'all got that? They got you in Negro, Black, and colored status instead of your Moorish status with your what? With your title, your appellation, Al, De, Bay, right? Remember? You're identifying as Black and a minor, which is a ward of the state. The state is deemed to occupy the place and hold the rights of the feudal lord. Now, let me ask y'all, are your rights tangible and intangible? Yes or no?
Are they tangible and intangible?
Your rights, yes. Do you have a right to contract?
Yes.
Do you have a right to defend yourself?
Yes.
Do you have a right to bear arms?
Yes.
Yes.
You have all of these, right? But to escheat, or when you are escheated, that means the state can tell you you need to buy a license to work as a nurse. You need to buy a license to carry a firearm. Y'all hear that? They've
Yeah.
escheated your right. They took your right. Why? Because you're not competent to claim it. Why is that? Because you don't have a nationality. And you're not an heir. Y'all understand?
Yes.
So this is the corruption of the blood. Exodus always, it always goes back to Exodus chapter 12. I mean, chapter 20, verse 12. Linda, you there? I'm kind of worried that I'm not making myself, I'm not being effective right now.
I'm here. I'm listening.
I'm worried I'm not being effective at getting this across. This is a very, very important concept, y'all, because this results in them taking away your due process of law. Okay, so Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Honor your mothers and your fathers so that it may go, so that you may live long in the land the Most High, your power, is giving you. These are the land allotments, right? Yes or no? Our land, right? So let me ask you, if we don't live according to the principles or according to natural law, what's going to happen to us? Don't we corrupt the blood of the contract?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Y'all see that?
Mhm.
It's the corruption of the blood of the contract, not the corruption of the blood inside of us. For example, y'all, the woman in slavery gets raped. People think that that's corruption of the blood, right? Because now the genes are messed up. You got the hybrid genes in you. So therefore your blood has been corrupted. No, corruption of the blood in law is corruption of the blood of the covenant. You stained it. Y'all got it? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
You got it, Jimmy?
I'm still wrapping my head around it.
Linda.
Especially that part of staining the blood at that point. Well, staining it is the disobedience part of going against what you had agreed to.
And because you committed a you committed a
committed a
serious
felony,
crime,
yeah.
which is felony.
By going against what you agreed to do, not doing what you said you would have done.
Right, it's also treason, right? Because treason is when you do what? Remember the definition of treason, yo?
Yeah.
When you do
something
an act against your country.
Right.
So our not following the Most High's instructions can get us can get the land destroyed and make all of us impoverished in punishment, right? Y'all see it? Or let's say you do the worst thing, which is Deuteronomy 29. You start following these deities. Did you just betray your nation by following
Certainly
the
did.
deities? You sure did,
Sure.
didn't you?
Yep.
You sure did. And isn't it interesting that that's the reason, that's that one instruction that we got kicked out for?
Yep.
Form of treason. Okay, so now let's go to attorney. So these are concepts, y'all. Attorney, Black's Law. Let's go to attorney, Black's Law. Very, very important concept. Because people think that we are corrupted because mixing with hybrids. In the most general, so we're looking at attorney, definition and meaning. In the most general sense, this term denotes an agent or substitute or one who is appointed and authorized to act in the place instead of another. It is, quote, an ancient English word and signifies one that is set in the turn, stead, or place of another. And of these, some be private, some be public, as attorneys at law. One who is appointed by another to do something in his absence, and who has authority to act in the place and turn. Isn't that word interesting? And turn of him by whom he is delegated. When used with reference to the proceedings of courts or the transaction of business in courts, the term always means attorney at law. Now, y'all, let's look up the word attorn. Okay, so y'all see right here, attorn. Y'all see that? Let's look this up. The base word. Y'all with me? We know.
We're here.
Following you along.
We're here, Doc.
Okay, attorn, definition and meaning. In feudal law, here we go back to feudal law. To transfer or what? Y'all read that? Can y'all read that out aloud?
I can't.
Another.
Linda, Jimmy, can y'all read that aloud?
To transfer or turn over to another?
Isn't that a cheat?
Yes, it is actually, yes.
So your attorney is cheating you. How do we know? We're looking at the base word. Attorn, to transfer your hereditaments, to transfer your property, to turn it over to another, to turn it over to the state or to the corporation. Y'all see that?
Yes.
This is how they get us to consent.
Excuse me, is this the same as power of attorney?
The same thing. Attorney.
Of attorney giving up your rights.
Continue. Where a lord aligned his seigneury, he might, with the consent of the what? Of the tenant, and in some cases without a turn or transfer the homage, transfer the home, the farm, and service of the latter to the alieni or new lord. He giving your stuff away to somebody else. To consent to the, y'all see this? Is that Lamech?
Yes,
Is that Lamech I heard?
I'm taking it all in. This is very powerful.
Lamech, can you read the highlight, please?
Oh, to consent to the transfer of a rent or registration,
To
reversion.
consent to the transfer of a rent or reversion. You consented unknowingly. Our ancestors unknowingly consented, or they were forced to consent, and the hybrids took our property. Y'all got it? They take your rights. Every time you sign a contract, an adhesion contract, every time you go out here searching for a benefit from the US. 14th Amendment citizenship status. Okay? Your state's property. But you can get your stuff back by doing what? Reversion of estate. You get it back. Okay? So basically, they took your stuff and made you a renter. They tricked you, right? And made you a renter. This not only has to do with land, with tangible hereditaments, but also the intangibles, like your right to contract. They are now telling you what to do. Why? Through statutory, all of these statutes, right? And codes, administrative law. They get you to what? Consent. Sign here, sign here, sign here, right? To consent to the transfer or a rent or reversion. A tenant is said to attorn when he agrees to become the what, y'all? Can somebody read that?
A tenant is said to
A little bit louder for the recording.
a tenant is said to attorn when agrees to become the tenant or of the person to whom the revision has been granted.
Okay, so what was he before he was a tenant?
Owner.
There you go. See how they're hiding it? They say a tenant. Well, he was not a tenant at first. Let's look this up. Let me make sure I'm not missing that. Let me get this in Black's Law. So in other words, they took the owner and made the owner a tenant because the owner agrees to give somebody else his property and he turn around and pays that new landlord rent to live in his property. All right?
That's the word.
Tenant.
That's
Huh?
the word sorcery of English language.
Can barely hear you, man.
Is that the word sorcery of the English language? The way they use the words to.
Yeah, but
cast
also
spells?
our own ignorance. It's just the curses. It's the curses. Okay, tenant, a temporary receiver is one appointed to take charge of property until a hearing is had and an adjudication is made. A temporary statute, did I get the right word? Okay, a temporary statute is one limited in respect to jurisdiction as to temporary insanity. Okay, a temporary statute is one limited to respect to jurisdiction. Temporary, okay. As to temporary insanity, hold on, y'all. A temporary receiver is one appointed to take charge. Okay, so a temporary, so in other words, you rent the house, you're in receivership of it, right? You move in. A temporary receiver or a renter is one appointed to take charge of the property, okay? Until a hearing is had and an adjudication is made. I guess in other words, until your contract ends or you get thrown out. Until a hearing is had.
Like
Let me look up another definition of tenant.
if the landlord wants to evict you for one reason or another, like not paying your rent.
Okay, tenant, one that pays rent to use or occupy land, a building, or other property owned by another. So y'all see, when you look at this definition, and then they give you, where is it? Look at this. One who own one. A tenant, one that pays rent to use or occupy land, a building or property owned by another. Now let's go to, okay, this is SG. I'm in the wrong one. Is this it? Yeah, a turn. Here we go. A tenant is said, a tenant is said to a turn when. So what's the meaning of a turn? Transfer or turn over to property. Why don't they just say the heir or the owner? You see how they're using tricky language here? A heir is said to a turn when he agrees to become the tenant of the other person to whom the reversion has been granted. Y'all got that? So who else can grant a reversion? Can a corporation, let's say like the state of, or the U.S, can they come over and say, hey, this is mine now? Wouldn't that be a reversion? They just took your stuff?
Yeah, that would be cheating.
And then they turn around and they give it to somebody else?
Yeah,
Isn't that what the US corporation did?
Yeah.
Yep.
With the Europeans, they took our, man, excuse
The
me, y'all.
indigenous
They took
land.
our land, cheated it, and then they gave it to the Europeans who came over. They gave them farms, right?
Yeah.
Y'all remember MLK talked about that?
Yes.
yeah,
The federal government gave them farms
Mm.
Yep.
and mechanized their farms.
yep,
Dr. Claude Anderson talked about the Europeans coming over and the federal government giving them, was it 100? I forgot how many acres of land based upon how many slaves they got. Y'all remember Dr. Claude Anderson talked about that? So it was cheated, right? A turn. Okay, y'all tell me, is this clear or not clear? I'm feeling like I lost y'all.
It's clear. Is that what made us indentured servants?
No. That's something that they came by contract.
Okay.
Indentured servants came by contract. That was choice.
Okay.
See, they wanted to come over here, put in 7 years. Then after that 7 years, they get free land and everything else. And you know, their employer had to give them, I don't remember exactly, but he had to give them something, you know, to help them get started. But they were coming over here to get free land, to
Okay.
get rich, but it would cost them 7 years of indentured servitude to get over here if they didn't have the money to make the trip on their own. You follow?
Yes, sir.
So y'all talk to me. Did I present this in a way that was not effective?
It's
Be honest with me. Tell me what's happening, or is it?
very effective. It's just overwhelming. I mean, the knowledge is really overwhelming, especially about the covenant. I was writing down questions, if I may ask a couple of questions.
I'm sorry. Can you talk a little bit louder? It's so
Sorry
low. I
about
can
that.
barely hear you.
Can you hear me
Huh?
better now? Can you hear me better now?
It's a little bit better.
I'm on my phone. I apologize. The question I had was, how is the blood covenant reestablished after being broken? Since our ancestors broke it, how is this reestablished? Is it just through obedience, or is it do we have to do another you know, make another covenant with blood?
Linda, you want to answer that? Anybody want to take that question?
I don't, because that was one of my questions.
Isaiah, you should know that. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 30. Go ahead, Isaiah.
I can't. I'm driving, Doc.
Okay, so the answer is Deuteronomy 30. So can you talk, Isaiah, while you drive, or?
I can talk while I'm driving. Yeah.
Okay,
but I
so
can't.
talk
I
about
can't read.
Deuteronomy 30. That's the answer.
I believe it says that when you come to your senses and remember the covenant, no matter where you are, no matter where the Lord, no matter where the Most High has scattered you, if you come to your senses and remember the covenant and return to the covenant. I forget what else it says.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. I'll read it. Okay.
All right.
So Lamech, here's your answer. But as well, I wish you had a better micro. I wish you didn't. I would like for you to read this yourself, but
I'm actually looking up Deuteronomy chapter 30. On my
but we
phone.
need it for the recording. So Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1 until I stop. Deuteronomy chapter 30. When all these blessings and curses, that's Deuteronomy chapter 28, 1 through 14 and 15 through 68. When all these blessings and curses, or in other words, when all of these punishments, when all of these attainders and tangible gifts that I have set before you come on you, and you take them to heart, wherever the Most High your power disperses you among the nations. You take them to heart, that means you do what? That means you learn about them. And then once you learn about them, you study and reflect. You come to understand them. You take them to heart, and then what? What else does it mean? It means you start doing them, right? But let's continue. When all of these blessings and attainders I have set before you come on you, and you take them to heart, wherever the Most High your power disperses you among the nations. And when you and your children return to the Most High your power and obey him, Exodus chapter 20, verse 12, y'all see that? With all your heart and with all your soul, according to everything I command you today. Timestamp, right? No Adamic stuff, no, what is it? The Noation law, no prophet said this and prophet said that, and king said this and king said that. No Christ figure that said this, and no Paul who said this or said that. And when you and your children return to the Most High your power and obey him with all your heart and with all your soul, according to everything I command you today, then the Most High will restore your fortunes. Didn't say anything about Paul. He didn't say anything about Isaiah, Noah, Adam, Abraham. Nothing about Nehemiah and foreign wives and children. According to everything I command you today, then the Most High will restore your fortunes. What are the fortunes? The fortunes are Deuteronomy 28.
Tangible blessings. The
There you
tangible
go.
gifts.
That's right, the gifts. Then the Most High will restore your blessings. When is then? when we obey, we start following the Most High's instructions that he gave to us through Moses. Then the Most High, your power, will restore your fortunes, all those tangible blessings, gifts, and have compassion on you. See, there is no compassion. Y'all see that? The compassion is a condition. We have to return to doing everything that was told to us to do by Moses. And we can prove that further. Until we do that, the Most High says what? He says, at that point, I'll have compassion on you and gather you again from the nations where he scattered you. Y'all see that?
Yep.
Even if you have been banished to the most distant land under the heavens, from there the Most High, your power, will gather you and bring you back. Y'all see that?
Yes.
All right. 6, the Most High will circumcise your hearts and the hearts of your descendants. These are the heirs, right? And I would not use this word descendant. And the hearts of your heirs. See, we need to talk contract, not religion, and not descendants. This is what? This is a term you would expect to hear in what? Admiralty, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Dead things. So that you may love the Most High with all your heart and with all your soul and live. The Most High, your power, will put all these attainders, all these curses on your enemies who hate you and persecute you. You will again obey the Most High and follow all his instructions that I am commanding you. Timestamp today. Not that I commanded Noah, not that Paul wrote, or that JC said. 9, then the Most High will make you the most prosperous. Here we go, the tangible gifts. Will make you the most prosperous in all the work of your hands and in the fruit of your womb. In other words, you're going to have a lot of new heirs. You're going to have a lot of new rightful heirs. And in the fruit of your womb, the young of your livestock and the crops of your land, the Most High will again delight in you and make you prosperous. So look at this, man, Isaiah. These Christians telling people that they're a worm, be humble, right? Be satisfied, take an oath of poverty.
Right.
See that?
And wait on the return of the Christ figure.
Yes,
And
and
then
poverty is a
after that,
curse.
after that, you will receive your blessings.
Yes, poverty is a curse. Then the Most High will delight in you and make you prosperous, just as he delighted in your ancestors. If you obey the Most High, your power, and keep his commands and decrees that are written, and he tells you right here, that are written in this book of the law, not in Romans, Corinthians, Galatians, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Ephesians, Philippians. None of that is mentioned. It says in this book of the law. If you obey the Most High, your power, and keep his commandments and decrees that are written where, Isaiah? Where are they written?
In the book of the law.
In the book of the law. So where are these people coming from with this New Testament stuff? Any comments, Lamech?
Just taking it in.
So here we're dealing with Attainder. escheat, hypothecation, goes back to what, y'all? Goes back to what? New Testament is admiralty law. Y'all remember that? The Apostle Paul promotes. How many of y'all remember what I'm talking about? The Apostle Paul promotes what?
Submission to those who want to rule over you.
Y'all remember the Dogon?
Yeah.
Where do they live?
In the waters. In the
Under the
water.
earth.
They are who?
They are the
Ra-
Nephilim, the
Yes.
Raphaim.
Offspring of the Raphaim. World of the dead. Okay. So if we are not in our proper status, are we in the world of the dead?
Yep.
Yes. You're in the
That's
jurisdiction of the Raphaim.
by calling ourselves Black and African American.
You got it. Because we have dishonored, well, we're not following the instructions where this given where? Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Do y'all see it? Yes or no?
Dishonored our mothers and fathers.
Yes. Yes. We are, what did it say for Attainder? Civically dead, right?
Yeah.
Civil leader mortus. This is a world, there's two types of death. There's physical death, and then there's civil leader mortus. Y'all got it? In religion, they tell you you can be spiritually dead. No,
Civil leader mortus.
no such thing. Civil leader mortus, civilly dead. Y'all see that? One who is considered as if he were naturally dead so far as his rights are concerned. Civil leader mortus, civilly dead, one who is considered as if he were naturally dead so far as his rights are concerned. Okay? This is what happens to us when we don't follow the Most High's instructions, which are natural law. We go under the jurisdiction or the law language of the Raphaim, the world of the dead. In other words, the legal fictions, the corporations, right? We get escheated and all our stuff gets returned. Clear, y'all? Let me demonstrate it. Let me show you. Y'all with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Linda.
First time of hearing civil leader mortus. I've never heard that term before.
Well, the US Constitution has many, many divine principles in it. Lifted straight out of our documents. And our ancestors wrote the Constitution. 14th Amendment, all persons, Jimmy, you remember we went through this?
Yes, we did.
Persons, what's the meaning of persons? Let's look
Moors,
at
natural born people of the land.
no, opposite. Let's review it. It's been a while since we looked at it, so let's go ahead and look at it. It's been since I was in Mexico. Ah, here it is, person. I need to buy a new mouse, y'all.
Person is a fictitious
There you
fictitious
go.
entity,
Yes, fictitious.
like a corporation. You're a corporation.
That's it.
Person.
A person is a corporation. It is fictitious. It's a legal fiction, y'all. So if it's not real, if it exists only on paper, is it alive or dead?
Dead.
Huh?
Dead.
I'll show y'all. I'll bring this out. Okay. Person, a man considered according to the rank he holds in society, with all the rights to which the place he holds entitles him. Okay, you 14th Amendment, right? You're dead status, state's property, and the duties which it imposes. That means you are you have a duty to pay the national debt of the corporate United States, the democracy. Y'all got that? A human being, are humans, Genesis chapter 2, are they rightful heirs, y'all?
Nope.
No.
That's right. Human, colored. Let me see if we'll come back to that. They're colorable. Colorable means fake, knock off. Like a fake Gucci, fake Louis Vuitton. Humans are monsters, grotesque, cannot inherit or own land. A human being considered as capable of having rights. See, we went through this recently, didn't we, y'all?
Yes, we did.
Considered as being capable, not born with, not natural rights, capable of having rights. Y'all see that? And of being charged with duties. While a thing is the object over which rights may be exercised. Now, this is not a good definition of person, because let's do it a different way. Person, corporation. So Walmart is a person, a 14th Amendment person. Okay, what is no. Okay, is a person, I don't know what we're looking at, y'all, but I know the topic. So let's click on this website. Hold on. Is a person a corporation? Legislation in the United States, the words person and whoever include corporations, companies, associations, firms, partnerships, societies, and joint stock companies, as well as individuals. This feudal statute, see that again, feudal, serfdom, right? This feudal statute has many consequences. For example, a corporation is allowed to own property and enter into contracts. Are U.S. citizens corporation? Under U.S. law, some essential rights of the 14th Amendment belong not only to American lowercase citizens, but also corporations. Thanks to a few key Supreme Court cases and controversial legal concepts known as corporate personhood. A corporation is a legal entity, meaning it is a separate entity from its owners, who are called stockholders. A corporation is treated as a person with most of the rights and obligations of a real person. Y'all see that? Now let's look up this term, ens legis. Ens legis. Ens legis definition. A creature of the law. There you go. An artificial being In other words, Jimmy Alexander in all capital letters. Y'all got it? A creature of the law, an artificial being such as Jimmy Alexander in all capital letters, as contrasted with the natural man, Jimmy Alexander, or what would we say? You give your appellation, right? With your title.
Right.
Which should be all, for example, this is for example. Jimmy Alexander is the name. Okay, this is an ens legis. It is an ens legis. It is an artificial being, and we all thought that's us, right? But no, it's a corporate fiction that they tricked us into thinking is us so that they could cheat us, right? And
Right.
y'all got it? The natural man would be Jimmy Alexander hyphen all, AL or Allah, however you want to pronounce it. In Ibaryath, we would say Allah. Some people may not want to do the Allah, they just may want to say all, right? Okay. Ens legis, a creature of the law, an artificial being. So that's 14th Amendment, right? As contrasted with a natural person. So this is a artificial person in contrast with a natural man. Applied to corporations, considered as deriving their existence entirely from law. I hope this is making sense to y'all. So how do we avoid corruption of the blood? Corrupting the blood of the covenant. We follow the Most High's instructions. We return to the Most High by following his instructions. In that way, we do not stain the blood of the covenant. To stain the blood of the covenant causes attainder. That's all I got.
That was really good.
I don't feel like it, y'all. Y'all so silent. I don't know if y'all bored or what.
Doc, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of information. I'm just I'm trying to piece it together, and I'm just thinking about the my name when it's all capitals on the like my credit or debit cards. That's not me. That's them.
No, that's not you. That's a corporate, that's an ens legis.
Right now,
That's
so
a
I'm
creature of the law that they've tricked you into thinking is you.
that is me exactly, and I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about how do I get out of that, and
You have to return to the Most High.
Yes.
And one of the ways that you do that, you have to do it most importantly in your mind
Mm.
and in your behavior.
Yes.
So when you begin to shed the mindset of the curses, change your consciousness. Okay. So when I say higher self, I'm not talking about being good or bad. Higher self thought and behavior mirrors nature.
Natural.
It mirrors nature, huh?
The natural law, doing what's like
Yes.
what you've been talking about, not harming anybody, not harming yourself, following the commandments.
Yes. So that's higher self thought. As you do that, your behavior will begin to reflect that. You follow me?
Yes.
And as your behavior reflects that, you take in this knowledge, you gain the confidence of who you are. Make a public proclamation of your nationality,
Mhm.
right?
That's
Or
right.
let me state it in another way. You publicly proclaim that you are a natural heir of the North American or the American continent. You are a natural heir. So in law, we have a treaty relationship. We're known as Moors. You just publicly declare your nationality. Eventually, I'm gonna start helping y'all do that if y'all want to do it. It's just that, how long we've been talking about this, y'all? It hasn't been a year yet, has it? Or has it been a year?
No, not a year, but it's been months.
Well, close to a year, close to a year.
Yeah, it's been about a year.
It's been about a year. So yeah, I'm gonna put that together. But it's gotta be something that you that you're living, man. And yeah, you can actually get out of that status now. I don't know if you deal with the New Testament, but the New Testament, well, I'll let that go. First place to start is,
No, I'm interested to hear what you have to say. I mean, I really am.
well, Paul is leading people into admiralty law. Admiralty law, this is the law of the sea, right?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, it is.
The law of the sea. Okay, so it's very clear. I don't know if you watched the videos I've done on Dogon worship and Oannes, huh?
Some of them, yes.
Yeah, Dogon worship and Oannes. So the New Testament is leading people into admiralty law, and that's very suspicious because this is where Raphaim lived, right?
Mhm.
So Dogon is the half fish, half man deity.
Mhm. Like the
Paul
hats,
said he appealed to Caesar, huh?
the Catholic Church wear the hats with the Dogon
Yeah.
fish on their head.
Paul himself said he appeals to Caesar.
Mm.
Caesar is what? What empire was that?
Roman Empire.
Roman Empire. There you go. So Paul, if he never lived, but for those people who believe he lived, a real person, all of that,
Okay.
Paul said, okay, these Jews are trying to kill me, so I'm going to go appeal to Caesar because he was a Roman citizen, right?
Yes.
So he left his inheritance, he left his law, he left his jurisdiction and went into another. Now, some people might say, well, he was in both jurisdictions, right? Because he was a Roman also. But then you have that, isn't there a Bible, a verse in the New Testament or something that says you can't have two masters? You love one and hate the other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all ever thought about that?
Yeah.
So doesn't that also apply to Paul?
Yes.
You can't have two, you love one and hate the other. Y'all hear me?
Yes. I think it.
Yeah.
So Paul appealed to Caesar. This is the Roman Catholic Church, or what would soon become the Roman Catholic Church. But of course, well, me, myself, I know that the Roman Empire never existed. This is the Catholic Church.
Oh, wait. You just threw a wrench in the game now. The Roman Empire never existed?
In my opinion, no, there's a lot of evidence. I'm not the only person who thinks that way.
I've heard
Never
that.
existed. It's a fiction.
I've heard that
But,
before, even with the
to bring me
Colosseum.
that. You trying to share that information.
I try to find something for you with
I'm
the,
holding out now. Stop holding out.
So even with the ruins of the Colosseum, that was all man. Well, it's all man-made, but that was all made
Yeah,
to.
Lamette, can you speak a little louder so everybody can hear you? That's a good point you're bringing
I'm
out.
sorry. Yeah. So even with the Colosseums, I went to Rome when I was a kid, and all the different relics or whatever that was made to support this lie of the Roman Empire. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
So y'all think about that. Paul
Learn something new every day.
led Yasharallah to the Roman courts. He led them into Roman jurisdiction, Roman law. Our instructions are honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers. But yet now this guy takes them into Roman jurisdiction. Isn't that violation of Exodus chapter 20, verse 12?
Yeah.
I appeal to Rome, or I appeal to Caesar. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna call it a night. I need to go back and get I'm still moving. I gotta go. It's 12. What time is it's 12:35. I still gotta go back to my hotel and get the rest of my stuff.
Could I ask you to repeat one more thing about the public declaration?
Huh?
Could I ask you to repeat one more thing about the public declaration? I'm taking notes just for my own studies.
Oh yeah, it's just you just it's a I'll try to show you something. Okay, I'll try to show you one. But it's just a proclamation, and you send it. You put those people who are claiming ownership of you. You put them on notice of your nationality. Basically, that's it. You just put them on notice that you're Moorish American, you're a Moorish national, Moroccan Empire, etc., etc. I'll show you, but it's
Hey.
Huh?
Yeah. Can you like do a posting on Facebook, like your public declaration, or?
I don't know when I'll be able to do it because I'm doing exams now. I just tested it out.
I'm saying, can you make your public declaration on like a site
Yeah,
like
but you
Facebook?
need to file it. You need to file it with these corporations, like the corporate state of,
Like
yeah, you
in the
need to
state that
put
I
them
live
on
in.
notice.
Is that
You need to
Okay.
put them on notice. Send a certified copy to each of them, but we'll get into the details of that.
One more question before you go,
Yeah.
Doc. Could I change my title from Bay to All?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so from the South, we're from the South part of America, right?
Are we?
Yes, where's the promised land?
Oh, okay. All right.
There you go. We got kicked out, right? But we're still Genesis chapter 2.
Yeah.
Right. So we're still heirs.
We're from the South, but got moved to the North.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
All righty.
Call me if y'all have any questions. Huh?
I said, all righty, Shalom. I loved it.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I felt like I was struggling. I didn't.
That's really good.
I didn't know if y'all were bored or I didn't present it well or what.
No, it's a lot of information to take in, Doc. It's a lot of information.
Probably because you're tired. That's why you're feeling like that.
Yeah, man, I'm wiped out, man. I did 1,000 listening exams and speaking exams. That's oral exams in 1 week. And I'm still not finished, and I have to work Saturdays and Sundays too. So
thank you.
Anyway, y'all, I need to go back and get my stuff so I can complete moving so I don't have to pay these people again.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
All right, y'all.
All right.
All right,
Tell me if
Shalom.
y'all have any questions. Tell me if y'all have any questions. Huh?
Shalom, Linda.
All right, Shalawama.
Shalom, everyone.
Jimmy.